Hey guys, I'm Jeremy with Rack Up Trailers, and today I'm going to show you how to install the Packout plate on the Kawasaki KRX1000. To begin with, in the back of the KRX, in the four corners is this bolt. It's a 13 millimeter with this D-ring. You'll need to go ahead and remove that from all four corners. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Now after you remove it, there's a silver washer down in here. You want to leave that in place. And so that's in four corners. There's two at the very back of the vehicle. I've already removed this one. And there's two closer to the cab. Again, leaving the silver washers. Then inside of the Packout kit from Rack Up, you'll notice that there are two short spacers and two long spacers. I'll put them side by side so you can see the difference. There's quite a bit of difference in the two. You'll take the two short spacers and you'll put them at the back of the vehicle, centered over the silver washer. You'll take the two longer spacers and put them towards the front of the vehicle, centered over the silver washers there. And so the two back ones are taller, and then the two front ones are shorter. Okay, so that's the four there. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video because the next thing you'll do is you'll take the Packout plate and set it on top of these spacers. So I'm going to pause the video, set the plate up there, and then we'll continue. All right, so here's the Packout plate installed, and it's just setting on top of the four spacers that we put in earlier. And so the four corners setting on top of the four spacers. The next thing that you're going to notice is the back two corners near the rear of the vehicle have countersunk holes in them. The front two are just flat holes. They're not countersunk. And so what you're going to do now is inside of the kit, there are four different bolts. I'm going to flip this, and the four different bolts that are inside of the kit are two that are long with a flat head and two that are shorter with a countersunk head. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take the ones with the countersunk head and you're going to put them in the back corners right here. So go ahead and get that in and get that started to thread like that. So we got that one in, and now this corner, we'll go ahead and put it in, get it started. We'll make sure to get it started good. And then you have the other. So what I do is reuse the black washer that came off earlier when you took the D-rings off. And so I'm going to take that black washer, put it on the long silver bolt that we have. I'm going to slide it down right in that back hole, and we'll start that thread. And then the remaining bolt, again using one of the black washers from earlier, we'll put it in this standoff back here. All right. Now, next thing to notice is before you tighten this down, or when you're tightening down, we have three different Packout plates for the KRX1000. This Packout plate that you see here can handle the rigid 2.0 boxes like this that you see, and it can also handle the Milwaukee Packout boxes like this one. And so this Packout plate can handle a Milwaukee box here or a Milwaukee box here. It can handle a rigid 2.0 here and a rigid 2.0 here, or it can handle one Milwaukee here and a rigid here, or vice versa. So it's really universal and can hold a lot of different configurations of the boxes. We do have other Packout plates. We have this one over here, and this Packout plate here. It handles three of the Milwaukee boxes on the back. Two are turned sideways and one straight. And then this one here handles two Milwaukee boxes by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video again, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten down these four screws. I will say that if you're installing this Packout plate that handles the rigid 2.0 and the Milwaukee, you know it's that one because, one, you ordered it. Two, it has these rectangle cutouts. Two of the rectangle cutouts are right by this bolt. They're very close. And so what you have to make sure of, I'm going to put the camera down here, is you see how the spacer's kind of in the way of the rectangle cutout? You have to make sure to move that spacer over there when you tighten this bolt so that this rectangle is clear, because the rigid 2.0 box has to go down inside of that rectangle. So you can see that's fine, and if it's sticking in this hole, that's not good. That'll only be in the very back two, and it's only for this plate that handles the rigid 2.0 or the Milwaukee. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while I tighten these four screws. All right, so I'm back, and now all four corners are tight. So So all 4 bolts tightened down. Make sure again that the rear 2 rectangles are clear. If you have the Packout plate that takes the rigid 2.0 box and the Milwaukee boxes. So if you have that Packout plate with these rectangles, make sure those 2 are clear. And so there's the plate. It's on, it's tight, it's not gonna go anywhere. You're free to go rock bouncing or whatever you wanna do without any of your cargo, your tools, your coolers coming loose. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a rigid 2.0 box up here because the rigid 2.0 boxes currently don't have a way to fasten them down. And so I want to show you what we've come up with and how to fasten them down to this plate. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. We're going to get a box set up here, and I'm going to show you how we going to fasten the lower box. All right, and so I have placed a rigid 2.0 box, 2 of them, on the Packout plate. Now we've designed this Packout plate to have just enough spacing, and it's tight. I mean, the box is all the way against the side, but in this location, there's enough spacing to be able to open the boxes. So we find it the best to install 2 of the smaller boxes. You're free to do what you want and have whatever configuration you need, but it seems to work best to have 2 small boxes on the bottom with the latches towards the inside facing each other. All right, now I'm going to show you how we're going to hold this box down. Inside of the Packout kit, you'll have 4 of these brackets. You'll have 4 screws, lock washers, and flat washers. And so on both ends of the rigid 2.0 box on the Packout plate, you'll notice a nut that's been installed on the back side of the plate. So one's there, one's there. There's one in this back corner and one in this back corner. It's pretty simple. You just take this plate, and it has notches in it, and those notches go here. And so you take that and you set it there like that. You can see it's there. Then you'll take this and you'll thread it down through the hole and into that threaded nut down there like that. So you'll do that, and once you tighten this down, so you'll go ahead and put one on both ends, one here, one there, one here, and one over there. You'll tighten them down, and once you do, this box will not move. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. We're going to put all 4 of these in place, and then I'm going to go ahead and stack some more boxes on top of this to show you the correct way to configure them. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. All right, so here you go. I went ahead and put a cooler on top of this box on the passenger side, and I just put another cargo box on top of this box on the driver's side. Now you'll notice from earlier, we put the 2 bottom boxes with the latches facing each other so that you can get them out. The 2 top boxes, if you use the bigger boxes, if you stay with the smaller boxes, you can just keep doing them with the latches toward the inside. The 2 top boxes, if you're going to go with the cargo boxes on top, it's best to reverse them around so that the latches are on the outside, because that gives you free access to get into them. Open the cooler box. There you go. So latch that back. And so that's a way. I put all of the stuff that I use most in the top box up here. You know, your dry foods, your chips, your cookies, your snacks, trail foods. And then over here is the cooler. Again, put the latches toward the outside of the vehicle. So I allow you to set the cooler right there. Shut it so you can get in and out of the cooler, in and out of your dry storage all day long on the trail. And then down here low, I keep all my winch straps, my snatch blocks, and all those kind of things, a tool kit, and things that I don't need to get to as often, because getting in the 2 bottom boxes does require that you remove the top box to get into it. Not a big deal, just takes a moment, but you can see these boxes are here, they're not going anywhere, and you're ready to hit the trail with the rigid 2.0 boxes mounted into the back of the Kawasaki KRX. Now, one thing that I mentioned earlier, that this Packout plate that we have here holds the rigid 2.0 or the Milwaukee boxes. And so I'm going to pause the video, take these rigid 2.0 boxes off, and show you the Packout plate with 2 of the Milwaukee boxes installed. All right, so here we are with the plate. The rigid boxes are back off, and you can see these were the mounts for the rigid boxes, and here's the mounts for the Milwaukee boxes. And so the Milwaukee boxes, you can take them, set them up there, slide them in, they're locked in place. So now you can take this one, set it up there, both locked in place. So gives you just a whole nother option. Be able to put 2 rigids or 2 Milwaukees. Now at the same time, you can also take the Milwaukee out. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off. I didn't unsnap it earlier, but I'm gonna go ahead and unsnap this box off of here. And you're gonna see I can take and put also a Milwaukee and a rigid. Find the holes there. And so again, I could put the clamps here. And so now I've got a Milwaukee and a rigid side by side. And so this plate here that handles both the rigid 2.0 system and the Milwaukee gives you a lot of different options, a lot of different ways to pack out the gear for the trip that you're on. All right, one last thing that I want to show you on this plate, on all of the plates we offer, they have these holes in the back that are formed down, okay? And these holes here, what they're for is for the trail bags that allow you to put trash in. So, you know, we've designed it with the right hole spacing so that when you put the rubber cords to hold that trash bag down, it's set there properly. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and install the trash bag so that you can see that and show you a couple final thoughts on the Packout plates. So let me pause it real quick. All right, so there you can see I got the Sackett or the different brands that they make of the trash bags that go on the back of the KRX or any of the side-by-sides. So our plates also have the mounts for that. That lets that hang and lets you access and be able to throw away your trash. The only last final thought that I have to share is that with this box, let me get this one off here. I'll just take this rigid off. We designed it with this plate. It sets far enough forward that if you have the factory sub that goes here, it'll clear it. And so the factory sub can still be installed back here and be resting there. And so none of this interferes with that. And all of it will still open and work with the factory sub there or not. If you don't have the factory sub, you have a little bit of extra room. And so that's it, guys, for installing the Packout plate on the KRX1000. Shoot me a comment or send me an email or give us a phone call if you have any questions or if you have any ideas or something else that you need for your KRX1000. We'd be happy to help. Again, thanks, guys.